Today, we're going to look at the Ontario Ombudsman's investigation of the Landlord Tenant Board. The Ontario Ombudsman investigated the Landlord and Tenant Board, LTB, and released a report in May 2023. The report identified several problems with the LTB, including a shortage of qualified adjudicators, inefficient practices, and a backlog of cases. The backlog of cases at the LTB was more than 38,000, and tenant applications could take up to 2 years to be scheduled. The Ombudsman had received more than 4,000 complaints from people on both sides of the landlord-tenant relationship, many of whom described the financial and mental harm they suffered while waiting for their applications to be heard. The report concluded that the LTB was fundamentally failing to provide swift justice to both landlords and tenants. Justice delayed is justice denied. If equitable relief to an injured party is available, but is not forthcoming in a timely fashion, it is effectively the same as having no remedy at all. The report also highlighted the struggles the LTB faced with COVID-related challenges, including a shift to online hearings and the introduction of an application portal. The report made several recommendations to address the problems with the LTB, including legislative change and an overhaul of the board. The report recommended establishing access to justice initiatives such as public and mobile terminals and Navigate Tribunals Ontario to support users with their disputes. It also recommended streamlining LTB processes and ensuring adjudicators have the necessary support for efficient file and hearing management. The report had 61 recommendations in total, ranging from small to large ideas. The report emphasized that the sooner the initiative moves forward, the sooner the board will be in a position to improve its dismal service levels. The report highlighted the individual hardship of landlords and tenants, including tenants stuck waiting while they endured harassment, unsafe living conditions, and improper attempts to force them from their homes. The report found that both landlords and tenants were affected by the breakdown of the system. Here are some examples from the report. Financial and mental harm. Many people on both sides of the landlord-tenant relationship described the financial and mental harm they suffered while trapped in the queue, waiting for their applications to be heard. Significant hardship. Prolonged delays in having their applications resolved were causing people significant hardship, including facing financial ruin and serious health harm. Backlog of cases. The backlog of cases at the LTB had grown to 38,000, and it was taking an average of 7 or 8 months, sometimes up to 2 years, for a hearing to be scheduled. Unsafe living conditions. Tenants were stuck waiting while they endured harassment, unsafe living conditions, and improper attempts to force them from their homes. Financial ruin. Small landlords had to cope with tenants' abuse and face financial ruin. Inefficient practices. The LTB was fundamentally failing to provide swift justice due to a perfect storm of factors, including inefficient practices. Delays. Wait times for tenant cases had risen by 4 months since last count. The Ombudsman Report on the Ontario Landlord Tenant Board, LTB, issued 61 recommendations aimed at improving the functioning of the board and its excruciating delays. Some of the recommendations include legislative change. The Ombudsman called for legislative change to address the systemic problems at the LTB. Overhaul of the LTB. The Ombudsman recommended an overhaul of the LTB to improve its service levels. Appointment and training process. The Ombudsman identified a shortage of adjudicators compounded by a cumbersome appointment and training process as part of the problem. Online application system. The LTB implemented an online application system to address delays. Streamlining processes. The LTB streamlined processes to address delays. Timely access to justice. The Ombudsman recommended improvements to ensure timely access to justice for tenants and landlords. In response to the report, Tribunals Ontario issued a statement saying that they were reviewing the recommendations carefully and were committed to delivering a strong, timely, accessible, and modern administrative justice system. However, it does not appear that any noticeable changes have been made to the board's procedures since the release of the report.